One of the exchanges that I had with my mother over money was when I parked a bicycle behind her vehicle and she accidentally ran it over. I was pretty upset about that, and I was hoping to get a bike, and I thought it would be an automatic situation where I would get a new bike because, she ran over my other one. But that was something where she had a great discussion with me about money and about, the hard work and kind of being irresponsible with different things, such as my bike, not putting it away and things like that. So I went a while without having a bike, and I actually had to save enough money where I could pay for half of the bike myself. And I think that really taught me a lot about not only money, but also just being responsible with a lot of the items that I already did have. Even when I turned 16, I can think of the vehicle that I used, and it was just a jalopy, it barely even ran, but kind of enjoying that and kind of maybe joking about it in a positive way. Well, I know at the age of 16, this Grand Dam that barely runs isn't awesome, but it gets me from point A to point B, and that's all I need right now. Looking into college and things like that, I really didn't prepare financially for it. Since I was fairly young, I did work, and I did have a job, and I had quite a bit of savings for whatever kind of higher education I wanted to get into. It was decided actually in the summer before I went to college that I was actually going to college. So my parents didn't have a savings plan for me either. College for me was paid for out of my own pocket, and it was something where I was able to get a lot of loans and financial aid for that. And that was something that I knew that I would have to pay back. So being able to utilize that money and knowing that those thousands of dollars that are going into my education, that's something that I looked into, and that's why I wanted to graduate in 4 years. I didn't really goof around in terms of my academics. When I graduated, I had about $30,000 in debt from student loans. And then I got married, and my wife also had about $25,000. So we did a lot of research in terms of how can we get rid of this debt. My salary while I was in graduate school was about $1,000 a month, and then we had our apartment paid for with the position that I had. We were able to live off of what I had, and then my wife, we took every single penny that she earned and we threw it towards that student loan. We lived off of one income, and that other income that we had, we threw that right at our student loans. So we were able to knock out, $1,000 a month, at times $2,000 a month. It was whatever the check came in for is what we would write. So we were able to aggressively pay off our student loans, actually within about 2 years. We're in a place where my wife is able to stay at home full time and be with my son, and I think that's the joy that we get. We don't need the toys, we don't need the cabin and things like that. I think being able to have my wife at home is kind of a reward in itself. And currently, what we're paying off is our mortgage, and we have 2 different loan payments. One's for about $10,000 and the other one's for about $90,000. So just looking now and working with our financial advisor and figuring out that $10,000 one, let's get rid of it right away. Let's pay as aggressive as possible, maybe paying the minimum on that $90,000, but then working very hard to get those loans out of there, and even making a plan for, it's a 30-year mortgage, but knowing that we want to pay that off within, if we can, 10 to 15 years.
Oh, good job. Great.
Yeah, that's something we're excited about, is just being able to get on top of the debt, not have it eat at us, or just not worry about money. I think the budgeting and the savings and just investments and things like that, we're gonna be able to kind of live our own life and not have to worry about that. And we just get excited for the future.